Welcome to Unity DAO, episode 6. This episode is about the people I survived. The people I survived. Do you remember Botswana of the last 5 years, excluding the last 11 months? The Botswana of 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024 until the 1st of November 2024. Would you want to return to that Botswana? I don't want to return to that Botswana at all. I don't know about you. Maybe it was a great time for you. It was not a great time for me. During that time, I survived two types of people. The ones who walked right through the front door and declared who they were. So I knew my enemies. And then the other ones, the cowardly ones, the cowards who attacked me through pseudo accounts. A bunch of cowards hiding behind names that were not theirs, accounts that they were pretending were not theirs. My sister said to me a few weeks ago, Unity, if you survived the last 3 years, you can survive anything. And that I do believe so. I survived 2020 to 2024. I believe I can survive anything. The enemies who came through the front door, who created all kinds of problems. There was the lady who famously said, "He is protected, I can assure you." That was an attack on me. Let's not pretend. But I want to talk about the pseudo accounts. And to say, if you are operating a pseudo account, if you don't have the guts to use your own name in public while playing in public, fighting in public, abusing in public, you are a coward. I don't care who you are. The only reason you are not giving us your name is because you are either ashamed of your views. If those views were brilliant, if they were building, if they were something you are proud of, you would tell us who you are. You are hiding because you know you are doing something wrong. You are hiding because you're a coward. I do believe that it should be against the law. It probably is against the law for somebody to go into the public arena to engage at the public level, but hiding themselves, attacking, naming people publicly. So the other person, you are naming them, Unity DAO, so and so and so, but you are hiding. There has to be a law against that. I have no respect for pseudos. And you, pseudo, Mr. Pseudo, Mrs. Pseudo, you should have no respect for yourself. If those views are genuine, if they are building, if they are honest, then you would be putting them there with your name underneath. Facebook should do something about that. Social media platforms should do something about that. But let me talk about two particular pseudos who abused me and attacked me for 3 solid years. Let's talk about Museveni, Franz Museveni, who's now kind of gone underground. I'm sure he's rebuilding his arsenal until they find somebody else to attack. Let's be honest. If the Masisi government were honest, they would tell you that they were Franz Museveni. The Masisi government was arresting people for all kinds of things. I mean, they were, but they did not have the time or the money or the resource or the smarts, to find who Museveni was. Let's be honest. Let's hope the era of Museveni is in our past. That we'll never ever see a government that is so blatantly uses pseudos to attack its own citizens. Franz Museveni was operating in plain sight, tagging the president himself, the vice president, all the leaders of the BDP, saying, I am with you, because it was them. So that's who I survived. I survived Masisi and his France Museveni. And I'm very glad that their era is over, and I'm glad that we have turned a new leaf. Another pseudo that clearly associated with the Masisi regime was a vile creature called Kgosi Mbe. Kgosi Mbe was vile. I cringe to think that he has a wife or a partner and children. If your child knew who you were, they would spit on you. They would spit on you, or they would denounce you, in the middle of the village that you come from. But of course, you're a coward. So right now you're having dinner, or lunch, or you are at church, or I don't know what you're doing, with your children, pretending that you are a good person. You vile, vile, vile man. And you are hiding. You are hiding. If you are such a brave man that you can play, you can work, you can abuse in the public square, show your face. That's all I say. Of course you won't. If anything, you will continue to abuse people while hiding. The other pseudos, I didn't survive them. I don't know if I survived them or not. But the other pseudos that are operating today. People, Bazwan, what do you think about this? Do you really think that it is okay that we should be having people who are engaging with you and I, but we don't know who they are? What are they afraid of? When you create a pseudo account, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of your views? Are you afraid that we will know what you think? I really think that if there's any evidence of dishonesty is a creation of a pseudo account and then engaging in the public for no other reason than to be able to talk without you knowing what is you. I can sit next to you and you can abuse me and I don't know who you are. But you're using my name, so and so's name in public so that we can know who they're talking about. I think that's the epitome of dishonesty. And if there's one thing that really Bazwana should be saying, is that whenever you see a name on Facebook that is clearly not somebody's name, these really silly, strange names that they use, because they cannot use real names, they cannot use names that maybe it ends up being a real name, because you can't say, I'm going to use two names that are common. You can't say Neo Mulefe, because we know there are many Neos and many Mulefes, and therefore a particular Neo Mulefe may say, look, don't use my name. So you have to come with these really strange names that are clearly not names, they're clearly not real names. Why? Because you are cowards. I think a new Botswana demands that if you are going to be in the public sphere, if you are going to engage in public, you should not be allowed to hide behind a fake account, a fake name, because we are allowing you to say things that you are not. Accountability, personal accountability is about owning your words, owning your thoughts, owning your contributions. So you are denying your own contribution because that is dishonest. That is dishonest. It should not be allowed. And I don't care whether you support me or don't support me politically. I really say that dishonesty, you are going to carry it into your work. If you are dishonest in the public, like you are dishonest at work, you're dishonest at home, you're dishonest everywhere. So you can say, oh, I'm only dishonest when I'm in politics. That's when I use a fake account and abuse people. I'm only dishonest in politics. That's when I use my account and support this particular person. No, if you are dishonest, you are dishonest everywhere. So please, Batswana, I am saying in this episode, let us really disown pseudo accounts. Let's be brave enough to stand in the village square to share our views. Let us not hide behind pseudo accounts, and because that is dishonest. Can't explain it any other way. If you really believe it, there are two ways. You don't have to say it. There are many things you believe you don't say. But if you want to say it, if you want to contribute it, if you want to engage in it, engage carrying your own flag, not a pseudo flag. I engage in public as Unity DAO. When people don't agree with me, they know they're disagreeing with Unity DAO. When I comment your post, it's Unity DAO. when I make a contribution anywhere, it's because I am very sure of my views. I own my views. I'm accountable to for what I say. Accountability for politicians and or supporters of politicians and or social activists, whatever you want to call yourself out there, starts with owning your views. And if you choose to share them, being prepared to face the repercussions of people's reactions to those views. So, this episode is very short to say I survived pseudo accounts. I do not wish anybody to have to go through what I went through. And therefore, I say, Bazana, let us reject pseudo accounts, as call them out. If you know who they are, whisper to somebody else. Let's expose these people who are acting amongst us, pretending that it is not them, because it's really dishonest. And it must be shunned, and it must be rejected, and it must not be tolerated. Thank you, and see you next time at the next episode.